Hello everyone, and welcome to the still brand new, second episode of the RCHS morning shift. I'm your host, the one and only, the man, the myth, the legend, in the flesh, Mr. Sir, Dr. Bobby Alves. Now today we have a very special episode for you today, because I'm not your only host today. No. Tisk. We have a co-host, if you will. Now, Mrs. Co-host, would you please introduce yourself, Miss Co-host?
What's up, y'all? My name's Trish, and welcome to the morning show, okay? Now, today, we will be discussing Confederate statues. Should they be up, or should they not?
This is a very serious matter. We expect the utmost maturity from all of our audience today. So please, just enjoy the show. We're here with Charlotte Paul, Orson Lane, John Lewis, Jefferson Miles, Mateo Cherry, Guthrie Moore. What do monuments represent in your eyes?
Represent history, you know what I mean? Whether it's good or bad, that it is undeniably a part of Virginia's history.
I honestly believe monuments, they represent our nation's history and how we went through together as a people.
On one hand, you could argue it represents history, heritage, and honor, also known as the 3 H's. Now, on the other hand, you could say it represents racism, treason, and dishonor. So, honestly, I think the truth is somewhere in the middle.
It's sort of a memorial to people or things, important events in our history, and it's usually a good thing. You wouldn't put a monument up of something you don't want to remember as a people.
I feel like monuments and statues, they usually are of people who we look up to, people who did something to improve our lives today in the past.
Monuments are usually put in place to remember something or to shine a light on something that they think should be remembered.
What do you feel makes one deserving of a statue, or makes an event deserving of a monument?
If it was something that we still benefit from today, for example, you all know the Civil Rights Movement, like the MLK statue, that represents, the movement, how Black people are still, we benefit from what he did back then today because we didn't have the same freedom.
For a person, it's usually a good deed that they did or a sacrifice they made for the sake of their country. A situation or something that happens, it's usually for the same thing or for to remember people who were lost.
Anything that is an overwhelmingly positive for a community and not specific members of the community, like the entire community.
I think they would have to contribute positive to society, be a good role model for our children, and just be a good guy. You know, you want to put a good guy up in front of everybody. Or girl.
If the person has done honorable things to serve his or her country.
In honor of somebody, in honor of what they did. Confederate war leaders in monuments shows that they honor what they did. So whoever erected those honors a history of racism and oppression and slavery is that's what that means to me.
So how do you feel about the Confederate statues? Should they be taken down? Should they remain standing?
I think that the Confederate statues should be taken down because they've been put up in place to scare the Black people in that community. The time period that they were put up was not close to the time that the Civil War was actually going on. If you look around the times that they were actually put up, it's around the time that there was the Civil Rights Movement. So a lot of the Confederate statues, and I think also the one in Richmond, was put up to sort of strike fear into the Black Americans living in that area.
I think they should be taken down, or at least most of them. I'm not saying they should be destroyed. I'm sure there's a place for them, but I don't think it's out in our streets anymore. It's just a different time, and that's not okay anymore. But I think they should be replaced. I don't think there should just be like empty spots there.
I feel like they should be taken down for the simple fact that the things that those people did, what they represent, is not important anymore. It's not anything that we hold or that we should hold as a value in America. And I mean, the history is always going to be there, so I don't feel like there needs to be a statue as a constant reminder, because it's not a reminder of anything positive.
I think my point of view lays on the side of the take him down. You know, it's hard to make an argument for a guy that fought against our great nation. You know, regardless of the question of race, which I think is a jungle in and of itself, these are guys who were treasonous to our country. And if you add race in there, these guys, I mean, let's just be honest, they were not fighting to improve race relations, okay? So I think there's some better people, more deserving people that could be up on our great Monument Avenue.
When it comes to the Confederate statues, it's a tricky situation as some people, we see a lot of people who support them and a lot of people who do not support the statues being up. It's sort of a question about how we view the Confederacy. You go to Germany, you don't see statues of Adolf Hitler or Erwin Rommel, but you see statues of Jefferson Davis and Robert E. Lee. But honestly, when it comes to the statues, I think it should be decided on the state level or the county level. And if you were to remove these statues, I would believe to put them in a museum, a more convenient place to put them so that it can still show our history, but it wouldn't erase history altogether from the people.
I don't really feel like statues are the most important issue right now. Yeah, I mean, I guess they're a problem. I mean, they've got, I can see how they could be like a symbolic issue for some people, but they're real issues right now. Black people are still being imprisoned at higher rates than whites for less severe crimes, you know what I'm saying? Weed is still illegal in most of the country. Yeah, so there's still a lot of problems.
Wow! Wasn't that some episode? We interviewed a plethora of people from this school, got all kinds of various opinions varying also as well. Opinions on the subject matter of the Confederate monuments and the statues. Now, I know what you're wondering. Al Farouk, you sexy hunk of a beast of a man. Why do you have the original cast and crew up here? Well, let me tell you why. Because I'm introducing them to you. Because there was never a formal introduction. So I, now as you all know, am Bobby Elves. That is Chi-Chi Big Boy, looking like Woody from Toy Story today. That is Betty Boy Banks. And that is Juanito the Barrito Martinez, the GOAT. Now, you've met the original cast and crew. Let's introduce you to the new member. I forgot about a member. The producer of our show, /editor, /cameraman, /everything, Mr. Corey Reed. You can find him on Instagram at Official Kai Productions. Now, let's introduce you all to the new cast and crew. So first off, we have our co-host, Mrs. Trish.
Boy, move your feet. I gotta sit here.
Oh, I'm sorry. Next up, we have our lovely assistant, Miss Bioko Petrell. Would you look at her? Wow. Next up, we have our lovely prop manager, Mr. Antoine Scott. Hello, sir. There he is. And finally, we have our brand new actors. So first of our actors is Mr. Jefferson Miles. Welcome, sir.
I was actually here for the first episode. I was in the beginning.
Hey. Next up, we have Mr. Orson Lang.
I'm not wearing a flannel. Is that
because he always wears flannels, you get it? Third, we have our actress, Mrs. Glenique Sandiford. Hello, welcome.
Hello.
She only said hello. We hope you all enjoyed this episode. The second ever episode of the RCHS Morning Show, the first one with the new cast and crew.
Also, when the RCHS Morning Show Instagram page gets to 100 followers, he's gonna get fired.
Yeah, so let's not do that. So thank you for watching the second episode of the brand new RCHS Morning Show, the first episode with all the new cast and crew and members and all that good stuff. Remember, Richmond is where you are, community is what you are. Thank you so much.